Dear friends, I'm standing here in front of our Trsat church dedicated to Our Lady of Trsat, one of the most famous Croatian pilgrimage sites. This church is connected with the legend of a holy house that was brought here on the 10th of May 1291 and stood here 3.5 years until December the 10th, 1294. Since late 13th century, hundreds of thousands of pilgrims came here on a pilgrimage in order to pray in front of Our Lady of Trsat. Among them, the most famous and the most precious pilgrim that ever came to visit us was the Holy Father, Pope John Paul II. He visited us in June 2003. He spent in our town 5 days, and during those 5 days he came here on Trsat Hill and prayed in front of our Virgin Mary. The founders of the present-day church and monastery were the counts of the island of Krk, already mentioned Frankopans, Martin and his wife Dorothea, who are actually buried in our church. There are a large number of works of art that we can find in this church, and among them on the main altar is the famous painting which was given by the Pope Urban V in the second half of the 14th century. When the Holy House left Trsat Hill, local people were in deep sorrow. They followed their main relict and they were seen by the Pope in Loreto. When he saw their sorrow, he decided to give them a consolation gift. Above the late Gothic arch in the church we have a work of the Venetian painter Cristoforo Tasca. The transportation of Holy House from Nazareth to Trsat, and at the same time in the perspective we can see the scene of Annunciation, where Archangel Gabriel is announcing Virgin Mary the arrival of Christ. In the courtyard, Swiss painter Serafin Schön made a series of frescoes describing Mary's life. Over the centuries, a large number of pilgrims were bringing offerings to Our Lady of Trsat. So in a votive chapel we can see a large number of paintings depicting boats, storms, etc., actually referring to our long maritime tradition. The most valuable items are kept in a Franciscan treasury, where we can find the offerings given by Croatian noble families and members of the Austrian House of Habsburg. Since mid-15th century, Franciscan friars are taking care of our shrine and the monastery. We are all waiting for you to visit us, and we miss you.
Nedostaješ mi.
Tu me manques.
我想念你。
Saudades de você.
Nedostaješ.
I miss you.
I miss you.
Panici!